Good. How are you?
Oh, this show is hilarious. Let's start with you, Seth. I think of somebody who has been on the other side and probably has pitched projects and received some scripts. I felt like this is an opportunity, not just for you, but everyone being able to have an inside joke on the industry. Because I know as a journalist, we've looked at some things and been like, who thought this was a good idea for a movie? And worse, and why does it need to be 3 hours,
Yes.
right? So talk a little bit about that. Let's start with you, Seth, about the irony of making a show about something we all have said in the group chat.
Yeah, I mean, to us, that was a really appealing part of the show, was that it's based on our lives and directly, ripped from what we do on a day-to-day basis, the people we interact with and the stresses that we have in our lives. And it is something that audiences seem endlessly fascinated by. And even if you love Hollywood, you want to understand how things are made. And if you hate Hollywood, you kind of also want to understand how things are made. Because you want to understand, like you say, why people make these terrible decisions, and that's really, was an appealing part of the idea to us, was to express our own personal lives while hopefully, doing it in a way that people who are interested, be it negatively or positively, in movies also found funny,
Let's go to the ladies. Catherine with a C. You also represent, in this business, it's a revolving door. You're basically, as the saying goes, you're renting to a chair. You're only as hot as your last big picture, right?
Oh, no, I'm hotter than that. Go on. Sorry, go on.
It is also a bigger conversation that, you can make a lot of money for a studio and you can help bring prestige. But the moment things start going left, you are out the door and, it's time to update the resume or start packing up things. Talk about your character where she's just like, wait a minute, like what? And then just the audacity that Seth character is like, but I need your help. And you're like, what?
I need your help. I need your help was audacity. Audacity?
Yes, audacity. Yeah, I like
that.
Wrong.
He has nerve.
I do have nerve.
He's got his nerve, saying he needs me. But I kind of knew that before he even showed up.
Yeah.
I knew what he needed, and I knew I had an opening. And I've always dreamed of producing, and that's my foot's in the door, and I'm just desperately clawing my way back. And even though he's betrayed me, the bastard, and stabbed me in the back and all parts of my body, I know there's love there somehow. This is pretty quick. The turn to help you is pretty quick, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Not just on that day, but
on many
After
days.
that, yeah. So there's love there. I mean, who else do I have in my life? Apparently,
exactly.
No one.
She's got nothing, this lady.
I got nothing.
But a great house.
We sucked everything away from her.
Yeah.
But a lovely home. Yeah.
You give your life to your work.
Yeah. Absolutely. And for you, Ike and Catherine with a K, you too also know that this movie is a terrible idea. But you're kind of like, we have to go along with it because in case he gets booted, then you can slide in the chair. Can you talk a little bit about that? Let's start with you, Catherine with a K, about how something is a bad idea, but you still got bills are still due at the first of the month. It's an opportunity to kind of backstab him.
Yeah, I don't think Maya cares about the content at all, unless it's going to make money. Wow. And I do feel like there have been situations where we look at posters or you look at like the trailers and you're like, has anybody seen this movie? But the posters have no any way like connection to the actual film.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the answer, part of that question?
And then what about for you, Chase? For you, Ike, you kind of too represent that a little bit, where you're like,
it's funny. In the pilot, I tell him Patty's getting fired, and I think I'm getting the job, and then he gets the job.
Yeah.
And I think there's a world where they could have teased it more, that I'm actually underhandedly trying to usurp Matt and take his position. But I like the way they kind of did it, where the minute he doesn't get the job, he says to Matt, "What do you need, boss? I'm your guy." Because Sal part of it, he likes Matt, but also Sal does not want to leave show business. He does not want to move to Rhode Island and work with his cousin. So he's going to do whatever it takes to help his boss. And if in the process his boss makes a terrible movie that gets him fired, then maybe he will get the job.
Sal has a cousin?
He's got a cousin. He has one cousin.
Ronaldo.
In Rhode Island.
Ronaldo
No,
Saperstein.
Ronaldo Saperstein.
Well, one can tell that you all definitely did not get along making this project. Love the show, and I can't wait for everybody to see it because I think we need some much needed humor right now, and you guys are providing that. Thank you so much for your
Amen.
time.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
So nice.
You guys today.
Great. Evan wants to say congratulations on your Super Bowl win. That's what he wants to say, but he's not a big sports guy.
I don't know sports, and right before it started, I asked if the Eagles is the team.
Eagles is the team.
Yes, it is. Yes,
That's
we
right.
are. We welcome everyone to the family. So you can say it.
Quinta Brunson, who's in the show, is a big Eagles fan, and so she's ecstatic about what happened with you guys. So congrats.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And listen, and she's also a Temple girl, and I'm a Temple girl. So
Oh, nice. You're
Absolutely.
Philadelphia through and through.
absolutely. Now you decided to help create the show, and did you say, "Hey, we never want to work in Hollywood again," or was it just like a inside joke on some of your personal experiences, and you said, "You know what? Let's take our pain, rejection, and some of our growth, and let's make a fun TV show."
Do you watch this show and think we're never going to work in Hollywood again? Because we should
I'm
end this
thinking-
now. We got to go figure out what's going on.
Hey,
I thought this was gonna help my
I thought we thought the complete opposite. We thought everyone's gonna want to work with us. They'll love that we had some fun talking about our industry.
Yeah, now I'm worried they're going to be afraid of us.
Oh, no.
We can't say shit in front of these guys anymore.
No, I think we this was a show about like the moment in time we're in our lives, and it felt like mining from our experience. We've Seth and Evan and I have had a production company together for almost 15 years, and so we were able to kind of talk about what we've been going through on a day-to-day basis through a very hilarious lens, and hopefully this isn't the last thing we make. I mean, that's what we're
Well, if it was, it's pretty
it's
good.
a good way to go out. We're going out. That's true. We'll go out being authentic.
Well, here's the goodness. When something is a hit, they tend to forget the inside. I also think it kind of explains some of the nuances of the business where people are like, why is such and such made into a movie?
Yep.
And why is it so hard for something that's a little bit more artsy to be made? And I think you use a fun humor and to tell that story without it being mundane and very boring and very as they say, like the movie talk, you make it fun.
Cool. Oh, that's good. Great. Yeah, we definitely didn't want to make it to be boring. So I'm glad that you had that experience.
What do you think, Evan? Because I think, again, we all look at stuff and go, who thought this made a good idea to made into a movie? Like, who was sitting in the room? Like, what was going on there?
For which movie?
For just some of these movies that you're like, so you saw the video game and you said, oh, we have a 3-hour movie in this.
Oh man, well we say this a lot on set. It's like it's not like why do so many bad movies get made? It's more how do they ever make a good movie? Like when you've gone through the process from start to finish, the fact that something good ever comes out of the system is pretty wild. And it does. Lots of good stuff gets made, but it is so complicated with so many moving pieces and so many different people who are all so passionate and have their own feelings on it that it is just a very complex puzzle. And the fact that it ever works out is a miracle.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, I love this. I thought it was hilarious. And again, it's a fun way to poke fun at the industry because we need the humor right now. And hopefully, people will see it for what it is, which is a fun way to make of the industry and some of these movies that we get sometimes.
We hope so too.
Thank you so much for your time.
Take it easy.